Yeah. Oh, you found something else around here?
Yeah.
Good for you.
You could tighten up. How come I don't see myself?
Because it's like on a 10-second delay.
Seems longer than that.
Does it really matter? Gary, what's up?
Oh, boy, it is. You could tighten up.
I don't know what that means. I just set up the camera.
Zoom in.
Oh.
There's all this extra.
So, Gary, you can give it to David. You know how to work it?
Well, I mean, I know how to zoom in.
You know how to end it?
I did it once or twice, but I don't remember.
Alright, give it back to Gary. You're done.
And then I'll give it back to him.
No, it's fine. It needs to get to YouTube. That's why you need to give it. Gary, you can give it to.
Shiur is over for her?
Yeah.
You know how to work it?
This is the only part of the Shiur.
You know how to end it?
She's going to stay for Shiur?
I did it once or twice.
Right, that's good. You get him on the right side. Yeah, ask her for a write-up.
No, it's fine. It needs to get to YouTube. That's why. We'll take your notes, yeah?
Go ahead.
Hey, you good? It's fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying you see it's so tighter.
Okay.
Huh?
Tuesday.
Good. Come on.
I think so.
Do you know where he's going?
Yes.
Have you got in touch with somebody?
Yeah. He's like connected with the program now.
Okay, good. They're going to put him up and where to sleep, where to eat. Okay, good. At the baby.
Did you already have this today?
No.
It's not good when I bring the safe. It's so far, every time I bring the safe, he doesn't hurt.
Which is me. And then do the stuff at the end.
Something weird.
No, because they did it because the Sword Council, I don't know if it was true, but the Sword Council to get either or
The lady, the cardinal lady is supposed to be right. The reason why the first part of the parsha is so lopsided is because
You got it?
Oh, okay, good.
the Sheva Levi wasn't part of it.
Exactly, yeah, you're right. So I got that. It falls down. I wrote down the whole lot. I don't think it's whatever.
It's a minute.
Can't do worse than it will. Also, I got 90% of them in Leo.
We're doing the page from last week. Do you have one? Can I keep theirs? It's all the same. It's double-sided.
It's double-sided or is
It's a photo stat. No, it's not. That's what
it?
Huh?
We get extra points if we have it from last week.
You got extra points?
We get an extra points if we have it from last week.
The trees are happy. Couldn't find it.
He still made the same number of copies whether you have it next week or not. That's the last week or not.
It's true.
No extra credit.
Okay. Much use have we talking with this weather, no?
Yeah.
Just AIDS. Okay. So we're going to continue with where we left off last week. We're going to work through this mahalach, this process, this bitachon process. Tefillah. We're not on the. We're in the sheet now.
You're going to be on the sheet.
In the sheet today.
That's because I brought the book.
Thank you for bringing the book. So as a Hagdama, we know there's many famous Rishonim who ask the question when a Kodesh Baruch Hu tells a person, you have a chiyuv to love, you have a chiyuv not to be jealous, you have a chiyuv in your emotional state, right? Because sometimes there's chiyuvim, there's obligations, there's mitzvahs, aseh, los aseh, when it comes to emotions. So the famous question, even Ezra and others ask, how could you command somebody on emotions? You could command someone to do something or not do something, but to command someone to have an emotion, I can snap my fingers and I'm going to say, oh, I love Hashem. That's not so pashut. So what exactly is the avoda when it comes to emotions? Makes me nervous. So the Svarim tell us, what's the avoda? Anybody know? What do? Hashem says, you have to love me. Now love is an emotion. So how do we do that?
It's also a verb.
Okay. It's a verb and an emotion. Emotion, energy in motion.
Right, so there are certain things that bring you to love, the verb that brings you to the emotion, so you should do those things that are going to bring you to love.
Right there. We have a shtadlus to do whatever it would be to put you in a place, to make yourself a kli, a vessel, to be emotional, whether you are or not. Ultimately, it's up to a Kodesh Baruch Hu. You could try everything. You could go to the mikveh, you can have a good night's sleep, you could prepare for 5 hours before davening. When you get to davening, totally you're not there. But you did everything you could, because the emotions are not always in our control. We can try to put ourselves in the best position. Over time, a person can train his emotions, something that is very untapped, I think, in this day and age. A person trying to control his emotions, because they don't know how to do that, because they're so in control of their emotions. But if we put ourselves in the right position, that's the mitzvah. Put yourself in the right position to love a Kodesh Baruch Hu. What does that mean? So at the very, very basic level, it's learning. What does it mean to love Hashem? Right? What does it mean? What's the mitzvah of Avos Hashem? We're not getting to that now. That's actually the tachlis of the entire sefer of Chovos Levavos. Chovos Levavos, the whole sefer. It's called obligations of the heart. But everything in the sefer is intellectual. So how you call Chovos Levavos? Should be Chovos HaMochen. Right? He's teaching us everything. We've learned Shaar Habitachon now for a long time. Everything is precise. It's logical, step by step. That's what the sefer is, no? So what's the understanding? He's giving us the tools, the proper way of thinking, in order that we can be emotional. Chovos HaLevavos are all the mitzvahs that we're supposed to be emotional about. But the way you get there, he can't just plop an emotion in you. You need the guidebook. You need to read all of the understandings of the sugya, think about it, want it, believe in it, and then you're open to the right emotion. Bitachon is an emotional sugya. It's bringing the head to the heart. It's allowing it to be open. Doesn't mean you're going to be emotional. Now, when it comes to bitachon, everything we've been talking about, especially, I'm talking about Chovos Levavos, I always say, I'm in the sugya of Shaar Habitachon, Chovos Levavos. I don't know anything else about anybody else's opinions about bitachon. Only this sefer. And what does he say? Anybody? The first, what is the tachlis? You have the sefer? Can I have the sefer for a second? Nothing, get up, I'll get up. What does he say is the essence of bitachon? Yeah, this is very important. We have to know this. What's the essence of bitachon? That's what he says. He says, Menuchas Nefesh. I'll just read you the first words. Perek Rishon. See, here we go.
So what's the definition when you said of the title of the sefer?
So 1 second, I'll tell you in a second. Ach, Mohus HaBitachon. The first words, Perek Rishon, of the sefer. Everything that we're learning is to get us back to this one point. This is it. Ach, Mohus HaBitachon. The Mohus, the essence of bitachon, he Menuchas Nefesh Haboteach.
Is the result?
Is the calmness of
necessary
the
kli?
boteach. The calmness, the menuchas hanefesh, that itself is a big sugya. That is what we're trying. That's the essence of bitachon. Means, if you're in a place of menuchas hanefesh, you're a bal bitachon, and you could say that. If you're in the place of menuchas hanefesh and you say, "I got there," that's me being bal bitachon. Then that's bitachon. If a person's all over the place and he says, "I'm a bal bitachon," you have what to work on, right? Menuchas hanefesh.
Is that the litmus test, or is that the goal?
It's the siman and the sibur. It's everything. It's everything. It's menucha. That's bitachon. That means you trust the one you're trusting in so much. Therefore, I don't have to be worried. I don't have to be anxious. I'm at ease. And if we're at least thinking about that, that's great. And whatever madrega we're on, that's also great. Right? We're only positive here. Kodesh Baruch Hu only wants us to be positive. That's part of our bitachon. That even if we're not holding where we think we should be holding, I trust that I'm exactly where Kodesh Baruch Hu wants me to be. So you can never lose when it comes to bitachon. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Like you could be in the bottom of the pit. So that's where I am. Great. Let's look up. Not look down. Let's look up. So when it comes to bitachon, which is a control over emotions, right? That's what it is. They're trying to control our emotions. We're all over the place. The most of bitachon is to settle everything down. Be calm. Breathe. Breathe. Bitachon gives us that ability. Breathing brings us to bitachon. Bitachon brings us to breathing. A lot of bees. So we have to do what we have to do in hishtadlus to get us to that place. Now, one of the things is, here's the guidebook. We're learning the book. You have to know what it means. You have to know the details. But a major act of hishtadlus, our avoda, to make ourselves a keli of bitachon, which is ultimately the menuchas hanefesh, is going to be through a process that's brought up beautifully from the Sefer Bitachon Lamaisa. I didn't know that this was the name of the Sefer when on the podcast that we have.
You said, excuse me, make us a kli of what?
Menuchas hanefesh, calm soul. The podcast that I have is called Bitachon for Real. Bitachon Lamaisa. That's what it is. So here it's like a tefillah, but it's a bitachon process. And we started it last week, and we've gone through it many months ago. But it is so important to get this, because this is an avoda of bitachon that we have to be doing. You only build bitachon muscles is when you go through something that's difficult, and then you work through it. How do you work through it? So some people, they just go to the Ohel and they just daven until the Lubavitch Rabbi davens, is a Melis Yosher and give them what they want. That's a mahalach. But there's another way. And that's when something is bothering you, something's going on, whether monetary, whether health-related, whether you have a shachin ra, right? Where that's the sugya we're in right now. We're dealing with people that bother us, try to hurt us, or have hurt us. What do? I'm in pain now. Somebody hurt me. Now what do? How do you put bitachon into that? So let's learn. So everybody has the page in front of them. So emunah. So he starts off, I'll just show you. He goes through a process. It's called emunah, tshuva, tikva, hope. And the next page is bitachon, hachlata, which means like a resolve, a resolution. Bitachon, and then tefillah. It's a program. There's a real program that we can work through if you want to get to the place of menuchas hanefesh, which people are paying millions of dollars for menuchas hanefesh. They're killing themselves to get to menuchas hanefesh, right? They kill themselves at work. They kill themselves to go on these crazy vacations for what? For menuchas hanefesh. But it's right here. It's on one page. We could do it. It's free. I promise. It's free. So let's go. So emunah. This is a basic structure. Anybody could add any words they want about any topic they want. And I have many, in this Sefer, he has many situations. He just changes the details. The structure is the same. But anybody wants to see this afterwards, they want to find their own specific, Indian, we could make copies. Emunah. Ani ma'amin be'emunah shleim. There's nothing before emunah. I believe be'emunah shleim shetzaru zo. This tzar that I'm going through. Haba'alai, that's come upon me, hanikra shachin ra, which is called shachin ra. And it could be called financial problems. It could be called anything. Here it's called Shachinra. I believe Hi B'Hashgacha Pratis. First, I believe HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who's tailor-making this. Hashgacha Pratis. He's making it for me. Good start.
What's the translation of Hashgacha Pratis?
You want the real translation?
Yeah.
We'll talk afterwards. It's not simple, I know.
No, I'm saying it's Hebrew, and how do you translate it?
Mashgiach. Hashgacha comes the word to be mashgiach. What does that mean?
To oversee?
That's what I would say. But I have thought about this word recently, and I'm not done with it yet. Everybody calls Hashgacha about divine providence. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. We'll get back to that. But for the you understand, Hashgacha Pratis means that Kodesh Baruch Hu tailor-made it for you. V'chach Ratzon Hashem, and it's the Ratzon Hashem. Underline. Right? These are big underlines, and it's the Ratzon Hashem. She'ader bein shchenim ro'im v'tzarei ayin, and it's the Ratzon Hashem that I live amongst these quote unquote bad neighbors and these who have narrow eyes, whatever, they're stingy or whatever other bad midas they have. It's the Ratzon Hashem that I'm living here right now. Parenthetically, and we said this last week, if you can get out of the situation, which means either walk away from these people or sell your house and go to another community, and that's what you want to do, go do that. But in parentheses, if you can't, and a Kodesh Baruch Hu put me in a place, he closed me off, I can't get out, it's not so easy to just leave and buy another house somewhere else. So you got these bad neighbors, and I'm stuck. Guess what? It's the Ratzon Hashem. It's Hashgacha Pratis. Underline these words. These are very important to say out. Part of the process of making ourselves a kli for the emotions, whatever emotion we're trying to get to, is dibur. The peh is in between, as we've said many times, the head and the heart. Malchus, the peh, is that which creates very often the passageway.
Can it be
from head to the heart?
Reciprocal. We said in Shema that what the eye sees, the heart wants. Can it also be reversed, that what the heart sees, not just the eye, the heart, can that then affect what the mind wants? Are they reciprocal, or does it make sense to you?
Rabbi Weinberger gave
We can go all ways, but each word there needs to be defined.
Yeah, he did. In the eyes.
What the head wants, what the heart wants, those are two different things.
Right.
Everything can go in all different ways. We want to be in control of the flow.
So that's why we're problematic people.
We're very problematic people. But there's a mahalach. So what we're doing right now is we're taking control. We're taking control because it's supposed to be moach, leiv, and then kloyos, which is the kidneys, which is then the avoda. Melech, right? That's what I'm saying. Mem, moach, leiv, lamed, leiv, kaf, kloyos, melech. You're a king when you're in control. The greatest king is the one who's in control of his own self. Most kings are not in control of themselves. They're fake because they're in control of everybody else, but they can't control their own tivus and their own anger, their own gaiva. But the tachlis is to come into control. So when you have a program, moach, down, now you're starting. We're being proactive. So we're starting with Amunah. There's nothing before Amunah. There's a Bari Olam. I believe there's a Bari Olam. He put me in this situation, and it's his Ratzon. These are big, big words. We learn about these sugis all the time. The Ratzon Hashem, and I want to do the Ratzon. Yeah. Even in this situation, there's the Ratzon Hashem. Don't forget that. As hard as it may be, this is the Ratzon Hashem. Can't deny that. Even though Kodesh Baruch Hu closed me off, he set me into this place and I can't get out. We're not emotional now. We're speaking intellectually with a belief, emunah. I believe. If you can get to the emotion right now, that's great. But I believe that this is for my best. I really believe that. From a Kodesh Baruch Hu ha'ohev ha'gadol b'yoser. I believe that this is for my best from a God who loves me more than anything. And he's the one who knows more what's best for me than anybody else, even more than I know. So I believe that this is B'Hashgacha Pratis, tailor-made for me, from a God who it's his will, and he knows what's best for me, and he loves me. That's the situation I'm in. It's a good start. V'chafetz lahamideni b'nisyonos kashem imam lisbo. And he wants me to grow. He wants me to stand up to nisyonos that are difficult, that I should be sovel, to endure. Now, sovel also means pain. But when you hold on, you become stronger. That's how you build muscles. The more pain you can endure when your muscles are ripping to shreds as you try to push those weights up, that's the size your muscles are going to be. And there's a gradual process. And you push really hard, and then you have to stop. And then you start again. And then at a certain point, you can go up in numbers. You can go from 200 to 210, and then 210 to 220. It's a process, an everlasting process of building muscles. And it has to be hard. There's no other way. There is, parenthetically, we've discussed recently, and something very important, we can build bitachon through hakar satov as well. The more that one is hakar satov for everything that he has, he truly believes that everything mamish is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Really, really. That also gives him a strength to be able to withstand the storms of life. And parentheses, we discussed that. Kishem, what is it? Shem shemevarach al ha-tov, mevarach al hara. The same way you bless a Kadosh Baruch Hu for the good, bless him for the bad. So if you bless him for the good, you actually have a Hakar Satov. Then you'll have the strength to then bring it to the harder side. Al Kopanim. So Kadosh Baruch Hu now, he tailor-made this. Why did he tailor-make this for me? Why is he putting me through this difficult nisyonos? Because he wants me to get stronger. Levater. Ooh, this is a very big word. Woo! Spend a few hours on this word. What does levater mean? To let go. Wow. Do you know how much every single person here personally, no one else knows about how much we're holding on to? The inside of us, the neshama, the ruach, and the nefesh, is living in now as a culmination from everything that we've experienced since we're born. My brain is not. My brain is an olam hazeh. So I can remember a little bit of the past. I can go into the future a little bit. But my nefesh, neshama, ruach, let's go with the ruach, it actually is still holding on to everything that I've experienced my whole life. Bring your raya. What's the raya? Why is it that when sometimes, and I brought this mashal a few weeks ago, but why is it that when you see some random car or some random event, you start to tighten up or get nervous or angry? What happened? It's just an ice cream truck. What's the problem? No, because that ice cream truck reminds me, remember that? Of that test that I got in 6th grade? That I failed and my teacher made fun of me and my parents beat me up out of it. And all the questions on the math test were about an ice cream truck. So when I see ice cream trucks, it triggers me back to 6th grade. Well, I haven't thought about that in 25 years. But your ruach is holding on to it. It's all still there. And a Kodesh Baruch Hu says, I don't want you to be like that. I want you to put down your baggage. Why are you carrying baggage? You know, the mashal, the guy, he goes on the train. Everyone knows this. He's going on the train and he's carrying a big package. His poor guy, someone paid him his train fee. He gets on. He's on the train. He's carrying a huge package. And the rich guy who paid his fare said, put your package down. Like I paid for you. Put it down. He's like, listen, it was enough for you that you paid for me that I should get on the train, but I don't want the train to have to carry my baggage too. Buddy, you carry the baggage. Put it down. It's easier said than done. People are holding on. I know from my own personal self, and I know from many people who I've spoken to, they're carrying for 20, 30, 40 years. And when we get triggered, if we don't have bitachon or a program, we just spiral back into some dangerous place. Wherever it goes, and then after a day, 2 days, a week, maybe it finally goes away. But after it's like a tornado, after you destroy a few things around you, maybe. But if you have a program, what's the tachlis of the trigger? Everything's Ratzon Hashem, yes? Everything's Ratzon Hashem. Shkacha Pratis. So why did I get triggered? Kadosh Baruch Hu says, I want you to remember that you still have it. Let it go. You don't know what you're being held back from in life. So you still have this. But you didn't know about it. So I'm going to trigger you. But don't go l'ra. Go l'tov. It's always a choice. Moshe Rabbeinu says, Kodesh Baruch Hu says, I have before you a bracha and I have a klala. It's your choice. A trigger is a choice. Are you going to go into a bad place? Or are you going to say, it's time for me to let that go? You know, that was a long time ago, that ice cream truck test. It's time for me to let that go already. Okay. It's a bigger sugya. Rabbi's probably spoken about it like a million times. But I'll go upon him. So when we have an Isayon, a Shachin Ra, you don't even know what this Shachin Ra is bringing up. This Shachin Ra, it might not be you're so angry at him. You're really angry at some teacher or something that you had that he's reminding you of or something. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, let it go. That's why he's doing this. Levater. Lahaver Midosa. He wants you to work on your midos. L'mayla minateva. Because that's the best for you. To make you a bigger, stronger person. Yeah, but that guy's such a jerk. That might be true. But you're not going to grow if you're just going to point fingers. You have the opportunity to grow above. That's what we're here for. We're here to break ourselves. We forgot about that. When you're in yeshiva days, you're younger, so you learn the Musar, and you hear about the Gra, and the Gra says, the Vilna Gaon says, it's open in Mishlei. The tachas of your life. The Vilna Gaon says, the tachas of your life is to break your midos and to work on yourself. The Vilna Gaon says that. So when you're in yeshiva days, okay, we work on that. At age 20, something, you have the kids and the wife and the jobs, and barely we're learning anything. We're learning, trying to get our Gemara done, or we're trying to get our weekly share. The Musar, that the breaking the midas goes out the window. When in fact that's the most important of all the Torahs that we ever learn, because that's the definition of a happy life. It's really need to work on it. So when it comes to bitachon, I trust that this is what Kodesh is doing. He's putting me to the test in order that I'm Mavri midosai, to work on my midos, not to get angry, to control myself. It's very hard. Right? In Emunah stage, we're being honest. In Emunah stage is be vulnerable, between you and Kodesh Baruch Hu, just be honest. It's hard. This is hard for me. This guy's really bothering me. And I'm really angry at this guy. And I'm makbid on this guy. This guy is whatever. I'm not going to bring up examples of whatever. But everybody can imagine this person, what he's done. And I'm really upset. And I'm on fire about it. That's fine. We need to properly process. Don't just hide emotions. Admit to yourself, at least. It's called Hod. Part of our self. To get from Kesser down to Malchus, you got to go through Hod. But if you want to be a flowing system, you need to allow the energy to be able to flow through your whole self. And if it gets stopped at some point, then it's just going to sit there forever, and you'll get triggered at some point in your life later. But if you want to properly process the information, you have to process through Hod. Hod means to admit. I admit that I'm angry at this guy. I'm upset. We try to hide it because we have to be about the guy. We have to be above. No, I'm not upset at you. No, I'm upset. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You just park on my grass whenever you want. That's okay. And just make traction lines on my grass. It's fine. It's cool. Because we have to pretend that we're cool with everything. No, actually, what you're doing is actually bothering me, and I'm getting upset at you. You don't have to tell it to that guy, but a person has to own up to his own emotions. We're not trained like this in school. The man's guidebook of life wasn't in the guidebook. This is only if you're zocha later to get the female guidebook. It's called marriage, and if you're zocha, you get to work on it and learn a lot of things that you didn't get when you were younger. But a person in the stage of Emunah, he says, I'm very angry. I know it came from you. I know it's your rasa. I know it's for my best, but I'm angry. Right? In the stage of in the place of Emunah, you can live both of those. It's not a problem. Right? We often think, if I had real Emunah, I wouldn't be angry. So then we have to choose. Am I angry or am I a ma'amin? So people will say, I'm a ma'amin, and therefore they'll hide the anger. That's not true. When in the stage of Emunah, it's the recognition that there's a Borei Olam, there's a creator, who creates every situation, and he's also with me, even in my anger. By the stage of bitachon already, we'll try to work that out. It's very important, not to hide from ourselves, to own up to it. But I still believe. I still believe it's my best. If you could speak this out between you and Kodesh Baruch Hu, you're already 100 times better than you've ever been before. You're owning up to your emotions, and you're owning up to your emunah. That's an amazing combination. You already feel better. Now he goes to tshuva. Me'achar ma'amin ani she'ein yisurim l'lo chet. And we learned this in Chovos Avos recently, and this is a yesod, is that I believe that since yisurim come only from chet, they come from chet doesn't mean an egregious sin. Chet, we'll call it, as the Baal Shem Tov says, chet is, what's the definition of chet? We have to redefine a lot of words, like hashgacha pratis. That one I'm not there yet. But how do you define chet? What's a good English translation for a chet? Very important. We define things wrong. And then we're just like, in a different place. What's the definition of chet?
Off the target? Like
Off the mark. Off the mark. That's what it means. It's the Baal Shem says. It's a pasuk. I forgot the pasuk. It's in Nach somewhere. That's that thing that we also don't learn. It means he missed the target. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're a big, sinner. That word sin. I don't know who made up that word. It's not a Torah word, not a Jewish word, but it became like part of our system. It means you're off the mark, meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu has your trajectory, which is going to make your best self. And you went off a little bit. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to push you back on. You're holding on to some kind of emotion that you shouldn't be. That itself is considered a chet. You don't have to klap al chet for that.
Off the mark, I thought it means wrong. There's right and there's wrong. I thought it means wrong also. Doesn't mean you just missed.
The word of wrong, you have to redefine a lot of words. We need a lot of redefinitions. It can mean wrong, but you have to know what does wrong mean. So wrong means bad? See, people think wrong means bad, but who said that? You get the test, you studied 100 hours and you got the wrong answer. Are you bad? No, but everybody thinks that way. We really have a lot of problems. We're very complicated. Right? Tell me that's not what you think. Not you, everybody. Wrong equals bad. Hungry means angry, right? We did this once a long time ago. Hungry does not mean angry. Stressed doesn't mean bad. Wrong doesn't mean bad. Like we made a lot of words just mean bad. Because it's not going my way. That's what happened. So if it's not going my way, it's bad. So we could define all the words in the dictionary that aren't going my way as bad. But that's, I don't think that's healthy.
You have to come up with a better mashal, because no one ever calls the wrong answer on a test a chet, do they? I don't speak Hebrew.
In your brain they do. In the brain they do. No one says these words. That's the problem.
I thought chet refers to the Torah, what the Torah is right and what is wrong.
First of all, carbon chatas in the Torah means a shogeg, not even a mazid. People think chet means mazid. It means shogeg. But we can't get into that right now. A lot of mistakes we're making. It's okay. I don't know, what does that word mean?
I guess a transgression, that's bad.
It's off the mark and we need to get back on. And part of that getting back on is tshuva. Why is that? What's wrong? Kadosh Baruch Hu said to a person, "You're bad." There were certain people that were wrong.
Not you're bad. You did bad. Your actions. We're not talking about you. We're talking about what you did.
If a person could make that split, if a person would be able to make that split in his life, he'd be okay.
No, what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
I'm not a bad person. I did a bad thing.
I know. I wish everybody could make that split like you do, but people think they did bad. They are bad. Okay. Let's go to tshuva. Since I believe that there's no yisurim, there's no pain, and pain can mean physical, mental, emotional, financial. There's a million things of pain. Without chet, without being off the mark in some way, meaning that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to push me back on target. So makabel ani alayla fashish b'maisei. So I'm going to look into my maisim to go back on track. I did something off. I was off in some way. I'm getting triggered. I'm getting somebody's attacking me, or I'm not feeling good. Something's happening. That's like a red light popping up. Look into yourself. Not blame everybody else. That's not tshuva. It never was and never will be. Tshuva is, I need to return back to my path that I went off of. And it can be very, very slight. So I'm going to look into my maisim. Ulishtad l'shapram, and I'm going to try my best to beautify them. And I'll ask Kodesh Baruch Hu, help me see what it is that I've done wrong. Most of the times, if you look deeply inside of yourself and see what's triggering you and where that's going, you can figure it out. Easier said than done. Even if it's a small Kabbalah, you're accepting upon yourself to do something, to change a little tiny bit, that itself might be all we need to turn back onto the path.
So why do you need to go back onto
path of your best self?
If
Sounds
you're
like
living
that.
in the world of good and bad, like that you were railing against before.
Let's stick to this. We can have a discussion afterwards, but this is definitely gonna, I feel like, get off. Yeah? Tshuva is good. We could defend all of my words later, but tshuva, the concept of tshuva is good. These words are amistic words. So now we go to the state of tikva, hope. Me'achar ube'emunasi ubiyedi'asi. Right, we're in the mochin because my emunah and my yediyah, my understanding, hadvarn brurimli kvisha eskarti. They're very clear. I understand what's going on. I'm in pain. I'm angry. Hashem, this is from you, and it's for the best. And I know that I probably have to do something to change my ways. This is all clear to me. I get this. Mekava ani la Hashem. I'm hoping to you, Kodesh Baruch Hu. Hatov v'harachama. You're the ultimate good. You're the ultimate merciful one. Sheyoshieni mishchenai haram be'ez ofen shiyah. Save me from these people. I know that it's from you. I know that I need to work on myself. It's true. I'm asking. Kodesh Baruch Hu, I'm really true. But right now, these people are bothering me. I need your help to take them away from me somehow. Umekava ani la Hashem sheyasi minesu pelo. And I even hope that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you could do nisim. Part of bitachon, not that we don't rely on nisim, but one of the facets of true bitachon, to truly trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the point that I can be at a state of calm, or al derech, getting to a place of calm, that Hashem will take care of the situation in the best possible way. One of the intellectual beliefs is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu could do nisim, he could do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, in ways that I can't even fathom. That is one very important truth and belief that will aid to my ultimate bitachon. Not to build your entire bitachon on that.
You're saying even if you can't figure it out, don't worry, Hashem could figure out a way.
I mean, I'm definitely saying that.
Change the situation.
Of course, I'm saying more than that, but yes, of course. My point is that people turn the entire world of bitachon into that one facet. Hashem could do nisim, true, and he will do nisim. Maybe, if he wants to. Yeah, he could do anything. He could do any nisim in a flows eser makas kris yamsuf. Is he gonna do it for me? I hope so, but I'm not going to blame him if he doesn't. Right? It's one important facet in creating a state of bitachon.
It's one of the 7, no?
It's one of the 7. Yeah, exactly. I want to point that out. Because I am supposed to still hope, even with everything going on, I know this is for my best, I still hope that the situation does get easier, and that's okay. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu could do anything. Shekein amnam lefi ru'us einai, because according to the way I see things, kol sha'arim segurim b'fanai. All openings are closed. I mean, we're talking about the lowest place. If there are areas of hishtadlus, do that hishtadlus, again with bitachon, that gets into the sugya of hishtadlus and bitachon. But we're talking about a person feels there's no other way except for Kodesh Baruch Hu to help out. There is no other way. Kodesh Baruch Hu, I hope that you can do an ace. Save me. Ulam, hare'ein ma'atzor la'Hashem miloshia. There is no stopping a Kodesh Baruch Hu from saving. Ve'ineni misyayish miyeshuaso. I'll never give up hope from your Yeshua, from your salvation, because I know you could at any moment care fine. Yeshua Hashem, care fine. I know that could be. Okay?
We're talking about a nature like I'm gonna hope that Hashem somehow picks up his house and moves it across the country. Is that what this means? Or because what David was saying makes a little bit more sense to me. Meaning, it would seem from my perspective, there's no way out for me. But Hashem knows that guy, whatever, his brother in California is going to call him up tomorrow and say, I need you to come help me, and I need you to move to California. And B'derech Hateva, there's going to be a shift, and the guy's going to move out of the neighborhood. To me, makes a little more sense to have that kind of bitachon and say, Hashem, you know the whole story here. I don't have the whole story. Not that the guy's house is going to fall to the ground tomorrow, because whatever, there's going to be some sort of like Yitzias Mitzrayim kind of nace. Although that's an option.
Well, right? I'm not understanding. When I'm hoping,
yeah.
I hope that my hoping means I'm not giving up hope. Right? Hoping versus yish. So staying in a state of hope means if I'm going to try to do my best to fix myself, but this guy is a bad guy. So Kodesh Baruch Hu, I know that you could do nisim, and you could take away this whole thing in a second. However it goes, it goes.
Okay, when I hear the word nace, I think Makas Bara.
I mean, maybe, but we're not limiting. We're keeping it.
We're open even to that.
Yeah.
It's believing that Hashem has
But it's
the
not.
power
It's
to rectify any situation.
yeah. It's just
that's
holding
what
on to my hope.
It's an ace or derech hateva that Hashem has the power to fix the situation.
The point, we can't get stuck. If I wouldn't have, I'm following the Sefer. I don't know if I necessarily would have put tikva in. I would have taken a few things out, but he knows much more than I know. That's quite no question. But the point of bitachon is to try to get to a state of equilibrium of calm. However, we're trying to get there. We're not trying to say, I'm waiting at Kodesh Baruch Hu for you to change the situation. That's not our mahalach of bitachon. There's a mahalach like that, maybe. Yeah, fine. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get from head to heart. Bitachon means I'm calm, even if this guy doesn't leave. But I'm still holding on. The Kodesh Baruch Hu, you could make any nace happen. If any part of this doesn't work for you, except for the Amunah part, we have to believe in a Kodesh Baruch Hu. If this part is a little bit, change it. And that's fine. I don't know if I probably would. I don't know. These aren't like rules that you have to mamish live by. You have to get the structure, the understanding of what's going on. So far, so good?
How would you summarize what you just said about hope? I'm not really following. What's the ikar? What's the main thing we're supposed to walk away with from that paragraph called hope?
Even though a person is believing strongly that a Kodesh Baruch Hu tailor-made this very difficult situation, and it's even for my best to make me grow, if a person needs this, but it's really, really hard, and I know Kodesh Baruch Hu, I believe you. I believe you that it's for my best, but I also know that you could take this away in a second, and I hope you do. If
it means don't lose hope.
Yeah. It means a few things. I guess I would have taken. I'm getting stuck over here. I don't know if I would have helped.
When you're really stuck, rely on hope.
No. Let's go on for this one.
Well, don't lose hope.
Yeah, don't lose hope. I don't know why we necessarily need this one. It threw me off a little bit also, but I wanted just to read it straight. Okay, sometimes I shouldn't do everything I think. Hachlata. Now here's an important one. Yeah, it's the wheels turning.
Yeah, tikva, I think, is very important.
See, it's also each person's going to have a different. Please tell me why you think. No, it's important because we'll hear different perspectives.
Don't give up.
I mean, after one is in a place of tshuva where you feel connected, then you realize that you shouldn't be in that place for forever. It's there to take you to a certain tachlis and then move on. You want to, in order to do that, you have to have hope that things can be better. It will be better. And even the word tikva has, kav in there. Like you have to be connected.
Okay, good. I 100%. Some might work for others. Some might not need it. What's the gematria tikva plus 4? I did it this morning. Tikva is 411 plus 4. The letters tikva is 415. No, 511 plus the 4 is 515. It's gematria tefillah. Anyway, tikva and tefillah. Kaveh el Hashem, chazak v'amitz kaveh el Hashem. That's what Mel says. Okay, hachlata. Ubimakbil. That's a good translation. And parallel to this, and according to this, in parallel, machlit ani betokef. This is chazak, right? When we're building bitachon, we're building. Bitachon means like Shimon and Levi. What does the pasuk say? They went into not Sodom. They went into Shechem. What's the lashon? Boteach. I don't know what the exact lashon was. They went in confident. That's what bitachon also means. What? Betach. Thank you. Folks said it. They went in betach. They went in with confidence. Right? Bitachon is not only staying. That's one status, to try to stay calm. But it also means if you really believe in a Kodesh Baruch Hu, you really, really believe, and you trust that this is the best, you come in strong. Not overly strong, not like you're Baal Gaiva, but coming strong. Steadfast. These are good English words, they're important. Ubemaklan and parallel, machlani betokef. I make an absolute strong resolution, or betokef daiti in my mind. I will continue to endure, because if this is the best for me, that I believe I'm going to stay in this. I'm not going to run away, and I'm not going to wither. I'm going to stay strong. This is this is my working out for this week, to deal with this guy, or this person, or this kid, or this. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. And as long as the Kodesh Baruch Hu wants me to sit in this matzav with the shachin or the finances, or whatever the situation is. Again, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's ratzon that I sit here, lo ezav, lo ezam, I won't be upset, I won't get angry. I'm going to try to, because if we really, now we're making the turn. We already opened up to our emotions and we were honest with our emotions. But lamaisa, if it really, really, really is for my best, and it really, really is to make me a better person, so I shouldn't be angry at this guy. I should turn and use an opportunity to make myself stronger. So right after I was already makabel everything, now we do want to grow. So we want to start changing the emotions. I'm not going to get angry that I'm in this situation, even maybe not get angry at this person. I'm going to become a very strong savlan. Means patience. Patience, I always say, Rabbi Nachman says, comes from Keser Mamish. Savlanus comes from the highest place. Because if a person wants a Kadosh Baruch Hu to help unpackage his best self, you need to wait. You need to hold on. Simple as that. Mavri midosai, I'm going to be golomaylam and atevin, my midos. Vesrachik mihasin v'akpeda, I'm going to leave sin and kapeda. I don't want to be angry at this person, even though he's such a jerk. But I'm going to be above that. If that's how he wants to be, fine. I'm going to be above that. I don't have to go to his level. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be happy. In his face, I'm going to smile. I'll be happy. Because it's a Boreolam, and he wants me to get stronger, so I'm happy. I'm even going to try to don this guy l'kaf schus.
By the way, that's the most important thing, because otherwise you can't learn any lessons in life if you think you're always right and what other people say has no hasaga, they're totally irrational in what they're doing. It's usually at least a seed of something that you've done and made them do this.
And that was the first half that we're trying to get to that. Yeah. Shekein bituchani b'Hashem shekol tovasi. Because I trust in the Kodesh Baruch Hu that this is for my best. And that's why I'm going to try to start changing my emotions and turn it up, turn confident, turn positive. Ve'eshtadel af l'smoach b'matzavai. I'm going to turn even happy. See, if you go through this process, you've given yourself time to digest the situation, and you can turn. We all are good people, but we don't always give ourselves enough time, because the first emotional reaction, when things don't go my way, angry, upset, frustrated, distressed, all that bad stuff. And that's it. We just stay in that. We just stay in that. We just stay in that. But now we're not letting ourselves. No, ani ma'amin. I believe. This is from a Kodesh Baruch Hu. This is for the best. Slowly you're working through a process. You're allowing yourself to come back to yourself. And the person could come to the place where, I don't want to let this guy own me. This guy's going to own my emotional state. Why would I let this guy own me? I'm stronger than this guy. I can be happy. And I can even praise and thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu al matzavi from my matziv. Certainly, as hard as this is, there is a purpose for this. There is a tikkun to be done here. Man's search for meaning. There's a purpose for it all. There's meaning for everything, because there's a Boreolam who's running it. She'aviani liyudi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring me through this to my specific purpose. Umatarasi, my goals, balami, in my own personal world. We're now turning the tides here.
Well, you brought up a very big statement. Search for meaning. That is that's buckshot.
But that's what he's saying over here. That's exactly where that's part of Bitachon. Viktor Frankl didn't make it up. It was around a long time before him.
Is that a kosher book? Should we read that?
That's Rabbi. He paskins what's kosher here.
He what?
Rabbi could paskin what's kosher. You guys.
What do you call it? Heschel has a book.
There's a lot of books, Baruch Hashem. There's many books. So many. There's also Shechovas Levavos, Shaar Habitachon. If you learn it the right way, Bitachon. Now we're at the end of the stage here. Then now I believe, I trust with strength that this is not going to crush me. It's not going to make me falter. It's I'm not going to go crazy, and because I'm being pressed or stressed, I'm going to go off and do things that are usser, or make mistakes, or fire people because they angered me, or punch a guy in the face because he said one wrong word to me. No, I'm in control. This isn't going to break me. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to leave me. He's not going to forsake me. That I should lose my world. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Rachaman. He's the Shomer. For those who want to serve Him, He can be trusted that He'll take care of. Okay? I would have maybe changed the way that bitachon is worked over here. I would have added it to the end of achlata. Fine. Akopanim. If this is the way Kodesh Baruch Hu wants it, I'm going to use this as a springboard for my strength. Let's finish up tefillah. So then he ends up with the tefillah. You can, you can't. This whole thing was a tefillah. Elecha Hashem nasasi einai. Kodesh Baruch Hu, to you I raise up my eyes. Shatoshieni u'tamala mishalas libi latova. Kodesh Baruch Hu, I hope that you could bring your salvation and fill up what I want latova. V'tatzilini mishchenai k'fi shekivisi elecha. And that I hope that you can save me, and you can according to the way I hope. Okay, this throws me off a little bit, but again, anything that we're hoping for, and we're supposed to want to hope, we have to hope, but again, it has to be within the confines of Ratzon Hashem. I'm human. I hope that this goes away, but again, I believe and trust that if it doesn't, this is what a Kodesh Baruch Hu wants. Right? Tefillah is about Kodesh Baruch Hu wants me to ask. He wants me to believe that He's the one who can help. So I have to ask. But He also wants me to believe and trust that if He doesn't do with what I expect and want, then I'll also be okay. It's very, very important to remember that balance back and forth. The Gamim Etzarech Lizbol, that's why he goes back. The Gamim Etzarech Lizbol, and if I have to endure, Titen li koach lamud b'hachlatasi b'chozik b'tchon. Give me the strength to stand with my resolutions, and I'm not going to falter, and I'm going to be strong. Give me the strength to be bitachon, to be calm, see this in the right way, to make me confident. And at least let me be zocher to strengthen my bitachon, that absolute bitachon that I mentioned, that you shouldn't forsake me and you shouldn't leave me. This is the process. This is a very expanded process. A person could do more, could do less, could do exactly this. But when a person has a certain situation that he's working through, now we have a guide. You need to learn the book. You need to learn Chovos Avos. You need the Yesodos. But then you have to turn into a tefillah. To turn into a tefillah, into an active hishtadlis, making ourselves a vessel of bitachon that, according to science, which is created by God, is that through the mind you can help control yourself. You can control your emotions. And if Kodesh Baruch Hu decides that you've earned, if Kodesh Baruch Hu decide that it's good for you, not earned, if Kodesh Baruch Hu decide that it's good for you, that you stay calm through this and you work through it, so He'll help us be calm. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. But we have to do our part and He'll do His part. And we have to trust that He knows what He's done. Okay. See how this one.